Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a hidden world steeped in history and mystery. The Paris Catacombs, a network of underground tunnels stretching over 200 miles, house the skeletal remains of millions. While originally intended as a solution to the city's overflowing cemeteries, the catacombs have become infamous not only for their macabre ambiance, but also for their reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. Let's delve into the eerie history, the chilling legends, and the ghostly tales that make the Paris Catacombs a must-visit for thrill seekers and history buffs alike. A grim solution to overcrowded cemeteries. The story of the Paris Catacombs begins in the late 18th century, when Paris faced a major crisis. Its cemeteries were dangerously overcrowded. In particular, the Cemetery of the Innocents, one of the oldest burial grounds, had become a health hazard. Decaying bodies contaminated nearby wells, and the air reeked of death, forcing city officials to take drastic action. In 1780s, the city decided to move the remains from overcrowded cemeteries into the disused limestone quarries beneath Paris. Over the next several decades, workers transported millions of bones to these underground tunnels, meticulously arranging them in walls and stacks that remain to this day. The transformation turned the catacombs into a macabre yet artful labyrinth of human remains, earning it the nickname the Empire of Death. A labyrinth of secrets. Stretching over 200 miles, the Paris Catacombs are a sprawling maze, most of which remains off-limits to the public. Only about 1.2 miles are open for tours, but even this small section reveals a haunting glimpse into the past. The tunnels are dark, damp, and eerily silent, with the walls lined by neatly stacked skulls and femurs. Signs and plaques throughout the catacombs provide poignant reminders of the lives lost, with inscriptions like "Stop. Here lies the Empire of the Dead." Despite their eerie beauty, the catacombs are treacherous. Many who venture beyond the marked paths become lost in the twisting tunnels. Urban explorers, known as cataphiles, have mapped parts of the restricted areas, but tales of people disappearing forever in the labyrinth persist. One famous story tells of a man whose camera was found years later, revealing his terrified final moments as he became hopelessly lost in the darkness. Legends of hauntings and ghostly encounters. The Paris Catacombs are a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors and staff have reported disembodied voices, ghostly apparitions, and sudden cold spots. Some claim to hear whispers, urging them to venture deeper into the tunnels or feel unseen hands brushing against them. A chilling legend suggests that those who stay in the catacombs after midnight may encounter the spirits of the dead who rise to roam their subterranean resting place. Paranormal investigators and thrill seekers have reported inexplicable phenomena, such as orbs captured on camera and faint cries echoing through the empty corridors. One of the most unsettling tales is that of the catacombs guardian, a spectral figure said to protect the remains from those who disrespect the site. Those who attempt to steal bones or deface the walls often report being followed by a shadowy presence or experiencing streaks of bad luck. The mysterious film found deep in the catacombs. In the early 1990s, explorers discovered a video camera deep within the catacombs. The footage, now infamous, revealed a man wandering the tunnels, clearly disoriented and frightened. His flashlight flickered, and his breathing became increasingly panicked as he ran deeper into the labyrinth. The recording ends abruptly, and the man was never found. This footage fueled theories about the dangers lurking in the catacombs, both natural and supernatural. While some believe the man succumbed to the disorienting maze, others are convinced that something more sinister was at play. Cultural significance and tourism, despite or perhaps because of their chilling reputation, the Paris Catacombs attract thousands of visitors each year. The experience is not for the faint-hearted. Walking through narrow passages surrounded by the remains of millions is both humbling and unnerving. The catacombs also serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the ingenuity of humanity in addressing overwhelming challenges. Today, the catacombs are a carefully preserved historical site. Guided tours offer insights into their construction, the history of Paris, and the stories of the people whose remains rest there. Visitors are advised to respect the space, as it is not only a tourist attraction, but also a sacred resting place. The role of the French Revolution in the catacombs' history. The Paris Catacombs became even more significant during the French Revolution, 1789 to 1799. As the political climate turned volatile, many individuals were executed and buried in the already overcrowded cemeteries of Paris. To prevent public health crises, many of these remains were moved to the catacombs. Revolutionary figures, soldiers, and victims of the guillotine found their final resting place in these underground passages. Historical records suggest that even prominent figures such as Robespierre and others from the Reign of Terror may have been interred here. This connection to one of the most tumultuous periods in French history adds another layer of intrigue and sorrow to the catacombs. The artistic arrangement of the bones. What sets the Paris Catacombs apart from other ossuaries around the world is the meticulous arrangement of the bones. Far from being a haphazard storage site, the catacombs were transformed into an underground art installation by engineers and workers. Skulls and femurs were stacked in symmetrical patterns, forming eerie walls and columns. The intent behind these arrangements was not just practical, but also aesthetic. The designers aimed to create a solemn yet beautiful tribute to the dead, ensuring that the space evoked respect rather than fear. Visitors today are often struck by the artistry of the arrangements, which juxtapose the macabre with a strange sense of peace. The forbidden zones and hidden rooms. While the public can explore a small curated section of the catacombs, the vast majority of the tunnels remain off limits. Thanks for joining us on this haunting journey through the Paris Catacombs. What do you think? Are these tunnels truly haunted, or is it all just part of the legend? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the world's most mysterious and fascinating places. Until next time, stay curious and stay brave.